Are we good? Can y'all hear me? I would hope so. Hey guys, what's up? It's BigJackFilms here. Welcome to another live stream. We're just gonna wait for a couple people to jump in. We're starting this a little bit early today. I got about an hour or so to chat with you guys and let you know what's going on, because it's been 2 weeks since I did my last stream. I am so sorry I've been a little bit far behind. We've had a few things come up recently. Hello, Alex River. Hello, Pepsi Man. Unfortunately, I only have Coke today. So sorry. Hi, YMF Studios, Skullman, Mr. Sponge Plus. So, as the title says, yeah, I'm kind of in rehab. The reasons why and how and what's happening. First and foremost, no, it is not drugs or alcohol or anything like that. I am a good boy. I trained well. My parents taught me well. Don't do that shit, kids. But it is something I've been planning to go to for a very long time, especially after Ready Player One. I made myself a promise that I would do that. I am in what's called YouTube rehab. It's something of my own accord, my own design, my own manifestation. Basically, here's how it goes. Essentially, I have been going on a broken routine on making videos and producing content since the pandemic. COVID really messed that up. So I had been vowing myself that once things are fixed, once things get back to normal and I'm fully producing stuff again and getting a lot of big projects that I had to put on hold done, that I would go to rehab. And it's not like I'm going to a rehabilitation center. I'm actually doing self-rehab, where I'm taking time off. I'm slower on producing stuff. I'm still making videos. Don't get me wrong. I am still producing videos. Don't get me wrong on that. But I am taking some much needed time to myself to rework my routine, rework my system, rework my health, and just really get back into the swing of things. And there's been a couple of, because the last 2 weeks, I will admit to, there have been a couple of missteps. Like, we're still filming constantly. Like, we're still filming this season. We got 2 months left this summer. I gotta make the most of that. But lately, say my mental health has kind of taken a downturn for multiple reasons. There's some stuff I'm going to keep normally private. But the main thing I can say that kind of was just finally like, okay, I gotta get some assistance here. So for those who don't know, I'm going to make this just very quick on my stream. Last week, my mom got into a bit of a car accident. Now, she is perfectly fine. She's alive and well. She's kicking ass. She's doing really good. Thankfully, she's okay. She is in perfectly good condition. She's still she's still doing her own rehabilitation, just kind of getting back into it. But her car is totaled. Her car got completely fucked, basically. And she is just getting back into the swing of things and just trying to get her life turned around. But she's a trooper. She's doing really good. And all the support you guys sent, thank you so much from my end for that. But obviously, it's going to cost a little bit. So I just want to just put this out there. Anybody who supports us on Patreon, I'm going to put most of that money away to help my mom out. So any of your contributions do help. Is very much appreciated on my end. So I'm just going to get that out of the way. But that was sort of the straw that broke the camel's back for me, just mentally. So now I'm getting a lot of help. I'm getting some very good help, mostly from a really good friend, Alana Roses, who you know is 18. She is literally being 18 in real life and getting me back back in the ring, essentially. And it's doing good. She has been bringing so much positive energy into my life personally, and giving me new routines and helping me out. And I'm doing a lot of that, which is good. So I'm in a good spot. Like, even today, there was like some flubs that normally I'd just be like, oh my god, I can't handle this. But I've been handling it a lot better than before. So I'm already getting fixed up, and I'm just taking my time with things. So I'm just going to say this too. For anybody who will want a release date of the next season, and here's the plan, is that I'm going to be shooting as much as I can. And once I'm comfortable once I have enough episodes in the can that are done, I'm going to release them week by week. I'm going to do them in blocks, basically, because I think that would be less stressful than constantly making promises I just cannot keep right now, especially in the 2020s. So yeah, that's just the short of the YouTube Rehab thing, is that it's my own personal design. It's me. I'm not burnt out per se. I'm just reworking my routine, both in my work and in my my daily life, like my weekly life, and so it's a lot better outcomes because that's the thing. Like I have been working on a broken system that broke when COVID happened, so I've been due for change, an oil change essentially. So I'm in a good spot, guys. Don't worry about me. But when it comes to certain things, obviously the contributions and support and the patience has been extremely appreciated. I'm actually going to pass the time by giving you guys, I'm going to start working on more big blogs and behind the scenes stuff, both with projects we finish and stuff we're working on, because I want to give you guys more sneak peeks of what we're doing. I miss those days, those King Kong behind the scenes days where Brad would post stuff. I want to get back onto those because those were fun, and I really want to make more of those, either documentaries on the making of previous episodes, big episodes, or little vlogs of what's been happening. I mean, I think the G-Fest vlog did really well, so if you guys want more of those, let me know, because those are easy to make. Those are easy to produce, because I can just sit in front of the camera, talk about what happened, and just give you guys sort of a production diary. I think that would be the way to go for right now with things. Sure, it might spoil stuff, but at this point, I'm sick and tired of the mystery box. It's time you guys got a little bit of the secrets of what we do here at the studio. I am due to give you guys a studio tour, but once I clear things up, again, I'm just a major overhaul right now for me personally in my life. So yeah, I am in a good spot. Now, I did send an invite to a few guests who want to join us if they do, but in the meantime, we're going to answer questions. So once again, just a little bit of a rule here. I should first and foremost say there's no fan mail right now. I'm waiting to get that sent to me. But it is taking a little bit longer than expected because of all the stuff going on. But first and foremost, don't answer the same questions too many times. No requests right now. If you have say, hey, have you heard this movie or that movie? That's cool, but I probably won't answer like, hey, can you review this movie? Can you review this movie? It's like not doing that right now. I think for me, it's just I'm working at my own pace, but I am trying to still have a weekly schedule. So there's that. Keep things civil in the comments. Super chats are always welcome. Really appreciate getting the algorithm up. But yeah, guys, just again, thank you all so much for your patience and just amount of love and support you guys have been giving me lately, especially after the finale, because that was a hassle. I do plan a documentary for that, blooper reels and so on. But yeah, there's that. So let's get started on a few questions. We might have some people coming in. Who knows? But it's going to be a very chill stream. So let's get started. I am good, Dr. Ramsey. Good to see you, man. COVID messed all up. Yeah, everything changed when the COVID nation attacked. Holy crap, I saw your Super Mario Brothers movie, Mario Luigi's Plumbing Van. Yeah, okay, so that photo was taken back in April when I went to Universal in Orlando. I gave myself back in April a much-needed vacation. Went to see my dad, who's living in South Carolina, and Tipper's there too. And we shot some stuff there for season 8. So we're going. I will say one thing about season 8 that you guys are gonna love for the first 9 episodes. The first 9 episodes, which we're currently working on right now, we travel a lot. This is sort of, we're traveling all over the world. Like not like all over the world, but in the basis of the North American continent all over the world. I'm talking about we travel to other parts of Canada. We travel to Chicago. We travel to the Carolinas. We travel to Florida. We go all over the place this season. You guys are really going to like the quality update on these episodes. It is a very locale episode. It's smaller in story structure and scale, but in terms of locations, it's pretty exciting. So that's going to be something coming up that I'm really looking forward to. Am I going to see the Meg 2? I haven't even seen the first one, nor do I care to. I know there's a dinosaur that gets eaten. I do not care for those movies. Look, guys, it's been over 50 years. Nothing tops Jaws. And I should point out, I've been thinking about this. Speaking of Jaws, I'm thinking I might travel at some point to Martha's Vineyard. And the reason I want to go to Martha's Vineyard, I want to go in 2025. That'll be the 50th anniversary of Jaws. I think that is something I do owe myself. That doesn't come around often. But for the 50th anniversary, I might go check out. I know there is, I think a Jaws Fest every now and then that they have. So I don't know. I might go check it out. You know, for the 25th anniversary or for the 50th anniversary. Why not? Why not go see where they filmed the movie? Any plans for the King Kong cameo in my Lost World short? By the way, I'm a school film released later this year. Send me an email, Triassic Biters. That would be the best way to contact me, and just tell me what you need. Give me a list. I'll think it over. But I do appreciate that. But I will say this. I will be making another cameo on Monster Island Buddies soon, so look forward to that. Just wondering, what do you feel? If you feel the same way do you think that DreamWorks movies are written better than Disney movies? Okay, this is an interesting question. I'm not really that into DreamWorks. I've seen a lot of their early stuff before they went full CG. Here's my history with DreamWorks. I mean, I've seen Ants. It has not really held up that well. I mean, the animation's still okay. The score, actually, I think by John Powell has been the best thing about that film. But I'm sorry, Woody Allen as a lead? No. The animation? Oof. Oh, this is early. This is literally Katzenberg rushing over to compete with Pixar for A Bug's Life. Bug's Life is a better movie. But, yeah. I do like the Shrek films. I know about Shrek 5 coming out. The How to Train Your Dragon trilogy, I did appreciate now that I've watched it all the way through. I will not watch the new shows. I've seen only a few of their movies. So I have seen like Monsters vs. Aliens. I've seen Shark Tale, unfortunately. Although I do kind of like that one. Madagascar, the first Madagascar, I think is legitimately funny. But I'm very very minimal with DreamWorks. Although, I have been very much lately appreciating their 2D animated films. The ones that they did put out. Prince of Egypt, I have actually kind of watched like recently, like kind of on TV, just like not the full thing. And I'm like, God, this was gorgeous back then. Like I didn't really appreciate it at the time. I think at the time, like I saw it and I thought it was just okay. But then later on, when I see so many people, I'm like, okay, this is a little overrated, honestly. And then it died down, and then now I'm just kind of appreciating it a little bit. Spirit Stallion of the Seminar is okay. I did review it a while ago. Oof, there's some. It's okay. It's okay. Road to El Dorado, however, that surprisingly still holds up. In fact, might be my favorite of that time period. I mean, I like Sinbad, the Sinbad movie they did, but I do like El Dorado, and I think y'all know why. Part of me wants to review it, like especially before other reviewers will probably cover it, like say Nostalgia Critic and shit, because he's all over that Disney stuff. I'm thinking about it. I just don't know when. I know I definitely have been tinkering with going back to Disney and talk about my favorite animated Disney movie they did, Hunchback of Notre Dame. Especially before they ruin it with a remake. I don't even know if that's even happening anymore. I don't even know what the hell's going on. I'm so off track with Disney. I think a lot of right now Hollywood's just having a big timeout, which it needs because of these strikes, which I'm all supportive of. I'm all supportive of these strikes because you know what? I mean, it's all about pay, obviously, for these actors and writers. I know a few friends who work in the industry who are part of these strikes, which I'm like, good for you guys. Guys, get the money you need. For me, it's a little bit more personal. I think the fans of big IPs, should be supporting this and actually going with them, and here's why. Because you can put up your sign saying, hey, Hollywood, stop making our franchises crap. Stop making them lazy. Stop being political. Just make fun movies again. I think that's what people want. I think we're seeing a major shift in LA, a major shift in Hollywood, and we haven't seen something like this since the 70s. You know, like, remember, back in like the mid-70s, pre-Star Wars era, movies were struggling. Like, the Hollywood view was grim. Everything was downbeat. Movies were just not doing as well as they should have been. And then out comes, I think the first one to really break the mold was like The Exorcist. Was kind of got people back into movies a little bit again. And then there was Jaws. Jaws just blew everybody out of the water, no pun intended. And then there was Kong 76, of course. And then there was Star Wars. That 3-year boom just brought everybody back to the movies. So I think we're going to see that history repeat itself, that we're going to see that shift at some point. It's just not going to be, to now. It's not going to be later. It's not going to be like tomorrow. but I'm sensing it's gonna happen. Is that the studios? Because remember back then, a lot of the people who owned the studios were gonna retire and sell the studios to corporations, which now the corporations are thinking about retiring and doing whatever with Hollywood. So I'm all for it. I'm all for this. We were due for this anyway. I think we can expect this now every 50 years in history. So it's important that this is happening essentially. But anyway, back to DreamWorks. So part of me's thinking about it. Part of me's thinking about covering the movie El Dorado. I just don't know when, but I do want to cover Hunchback. Probably, I want to see. The thing is with doing animated films, as far as my experiences, I know it's really taken off lately. A lot of people like RaisorBlade and shit have been covering these movies. The issue on my end is just from my experience. Like when I did Lion King, it took me a total of like 4, 5, or 6 re-uploads because I had to go back and constantly edit the episode because Disney just kept claiming thing after thing after thing in terms of content in the video. And thankfully, I finally broke the mold, but it took forever. And that's the stranglehold Disney had. Now, that was post my Star Wars trilogy review. And when the trilogy review came out, they paid no attention. But with studios lately, they have been a little bit picky. I think it's been, well, and especially right now. That's another reason why I am also holding off this season in terms of just telling you guys release dates. Because I'm taking my time with productions, I'm actually kind of riding out the storm of these strikes. Because what I'm concerned about is if I start releasing videos during these strikes, because the studios are losing money, they will claim and monetize those videos just to make a quick buck because they are desperate. So I am trying to withhold a little bit until things calm down, until the storm settles. But yeah, that is something I am working on. It's just sort of that thing. But yeah, when it comes to studio stuff, I mean, I want to review more stuff. I just got to find the time, and I just got to take some time to really fix my shit first. Anyway, Yo Clayton, the Scared Productions are some of my favorite YouTubers. If you haven't seen, he reviews a lot of movies. He's ranking a video about the Star Wars theme song. Ooh, interesting. I'll check that out. That sounds interesting. Jurassic Butters. Yep. Have I seen Airport 1980? I have not. Blame Washington. Blame Washington. Blame Washington. You blamed us for the South Park movie. Now it's our turn to take the. I don't know. I can't sing. I can't come up with a follow up. Which, you know what? I said this in my review, my mini review, my top 30 favorite movies. Can I just say I think South Park is due for a second theatrical film? I think that'd be really cool if they did a second one. I know they've been tempering with doing a second one, but honestly, like Trey and Matt, they should take advantage of this and actually put South Park back in theaters. Like, do a movie again. I would love that. I missed my chance to see the 2 films they put out, Better, Longer, and Uncut, and Team America. But I think we're due for another South Park movie, honestly. Do you think the Spider Pit scene was ever filmed? Okay, I know the reports that have come out about it. You'll see my thoughts when we get to season 8. The first episode will bring that up. Have I played any other retro dinosaur games besides Jurassic Park? Turok are great games. I've heard a lot about Turok. I'm a Primal Rage guy. I love Primal Rage. In fact, when I went to Galloping Ghost Arcade in Chicago, I actually tried out the arcade Primal Rage plus the sequel that was apparently never released. The sequel is there, and it's an okay game. I prefer much more the first one over the second one. Hi, Sammy. Good to see you. Thoughts on Pixar's movies post Toy Story? Okay, so I'll do a ranking of the ones I've seen right now. I love the first Toy Story. That is my childhood. That is like pure childhood for me. Love the first Toy Story. What an achievement in animation. What a game changer in film. Great movie. A Bug's Life. Underappreciated as fuck. In fact, part of me wants to review that just to defend it. Just to say, y'all forgot about this movie. Shame on you. Because A Bug's Life, especially right now with today's culture, I personally think is something a lot of kids should be watching. It's a good movie. It's a good time. I love A Bug's Life. Monsters, Inc. is still relatively good. Very heartwarming, very funny. Billy Crystal and John Goodman are an idol, along with Steve Buscemi. It's like I think like 2/3 of Big Lebowski are in this movie. So great film, the first Monsters, Inc. Finding Nemo, heartwarming. It's 20 years old, still holds up. The achievements and water effects are great in that. I have a good time with Finding Nemo. It's really emotional. Toy Story 2, I forgot to mention that. Good sequel, decent sequel, really funny, very dramatic. That Sarah McLachlan song, man, still holds up. Good sequel. What was after Finding Nemo? The Incredibles, right? Incredibles still a good movie. I haven't seen it in a very long time, but from what I remember, it was actually pretty solid. Cars. Okay. It's okay. I mean, I'm not the biggest fan of that franchise, but I will give credit. The first Cars ain't that bad. It ain't that terrible. What was after Cars? Ratatouille, right? Ratatouille was okay. I think there was a period of time in my teens where I was just starting to lean off Pixar for a bit. So like Ratatouille was all right. It was I like the whole thing with like the figment of the chef with the rat. I did like, because I'm a big food guy, so like of course I was interested in what they were cooking. So there's that. I haven't tried Ratatouille though, but I am curious to know how it is. And then what was after Ratatouille? WALL-E. WALL-E I actually just caught on TV a while ago. God, great visual filmmaking, visual storytelling. You don't see that much anymore in movies, is visual storytelling. It's a lot of tell, don't show. What should be show, don't tell. I really do like the first, I do love WALL-E. Great nod to 2001. Fantastic. Then there's Up. God, I have not seen that since it came out. I think the first 10 minutes killed me. And then on top of that, the whole adventure aspect was cool. It was cool that they went to the plateau where The Lost World took place, the Conan Doyle novel. There was some good stuff there. Toy Story 3, holy shit. That for me, that was Pixar's swan song. To me, that was the end. For me, like, I know I've seen a couple Pixar movies post Toy Story 3, but I still think Toy Story 3 is their swan song. That is where, honestly, like, if Pixar fell off after that, great way to end it. I was laughing. I was so goddamn emotional seeing that. And for me, that closed the chapter of my childhood. Like, the way, like, I still cry at that ending. I'm one of those people who cry. Like, I was sniffling. And I'm like, why the fuck didn't this get Best Picture? Like, that would have been brilliant. I love the third Toy Story. Cars 2, I didn't even finish it. I actually walked out of that one. I left. I was kind of done. I didn't like it. Brave was okay. It's because of Scottish history. I did enjoy it. And then after that, I stopped. I stopped after Brave, believe it or not. I stopped watching every Pixar movie. I saw a little bit of Monsters University, but I stopped. I actually had to stop. It was becoming too much, and I just couldn't watch it anymore. It was just getting too... I mean, I didn't see Finding Dory. I didn't see any of their sequels. I didn't see Incredible Story. I didn't see Toy Story 4. That's a lie. I did see Toy Story 4. And I did review it. I will say it is the funniest of the films. I'm not looking forward to 5. But really, for me, Pixar, believe it or not, I have not seen Turning Red. I have not seen really anything outside of Toy Story 4 post Brave. Believe it or not, I have missed out. And it's because I just don't have the energy. I don't have the energy to watch all of them. I mean, unless y'all want to mail them to me, but I just don't watch Pixar much anymore. I've just lost interest. I'm not really... I mean, it's hard for me to get me into I was lucky enough to see a couple movies as I did this summer, but I'm not going to see every movie every goddamn week. It's just not in me. It's also unaffordable. But yeah, I just stopped. I really just stopped watching Pixar. So there's my ranking. And I do like the shorts. Their early shorts are still fantastic. So there is my thoughts on that. Toy Story 3 should have been the end. Still refuse to watch 4. 4 is funny. I refuse to watch Lightyear. I heard nothing but trash about Lightyear, so I'm not even going to bother. I have seen WALL-E. I love WALL-E. Really? You guys are really mad about Toy Story 4. I don't think it was as bad as people made it out to be. It's sort of, for me, like Indy 5, where it's unnecessary, but I had a good time with it. Soul for me is Pixar's swan song. Yeah, it's okay. Underrated Disney movie is Bolt. Yeah, I haven't seen that one. That was when they really switched. Go to the beginning of the video, Sam, and you'll get a full explanation. Dead by Daylight just got an Alien trailer. Okay, I don't play Dead by Daylight. I'm working on a video where SpongeBob and Sonic remake the King Kong character in their own theme park. Ooh, is it like a giant bubble? Like, is it like Bubble World? Make it like a Bubble World. That'd be funny. I think the biggest crime that Disney Plus has done is not put the Buzz Lightyear cartoon. Yeah! Oh my god, talk about a much better product. Talk about, like, that's what Andy grew up with, was the freaking cartoon show and the Super Nintendo game on Toy Story 2. That's a big thing people forget, is that when Toy Story 2 came out, there was a video game, but it was for, like, the PS1 and the N64. I used to play it. And there was also a couple PC games. But the thing is with Toy Story 2 is that Andy's playing a Buzz Lightyear game, but it's on Super Nintendo, which makes no sense to me. Why is he playing it on a Super Nintendo? He should be playing it on an N64. But that and that cartoon were much better. I agree with you 100% now. Love that cartoon. Hey, Jack, in your review of Steven Spielberg's Hook, you never mentioned that Tinkerbell's movie is from 2015 that you didn't know existed. Okay, so it's because they have no relevance in terms of what I want to talk about with Peter Pan. They really have no relevance to me, and they have no relevance to what I was getting to the point across. I have never seen those movies. I don't care to see those movies. They aren't my thing. They're like those direct-to-video Barbie movies. Not my thing. I'm sorry to disappoint, but yeah, I ignored them because I chose to, and I completely was oblivious to them. Now, I will say that me and Sean are planning a review of 2003's Peter Pan at some point. So we might bring them up there. No guarantees, but there you go. There's that. Did you also grow up around old McDonald land characters like Grimace and Man or Cheese? Oh, good question, Elisor. Yes, I did. In fact, I can double that. I grew up with The Wacky Adventures of Ronald McDonald. These were direct-to-video TV special cartoon things that there were 6 tapes made. Actually, the 6th one was kind of never released. They were a series of tapes that were just animated adventures with Ronald and his friends and through McDonald Land, and you got to meet new characters and so on. And they were actually a great series of videos. I actually remember loving them as a kid. And I remember always looking forward to seeing the next one, like getting all the tapes. I never got the last tape, and I was so pissed about that. Because they just never released it. They never released the Monster of McDonald Land Lock, although it did appear finally online at some point. But I remember I used to buy those tapes at McDonald's. And they were made by the company, the animation company, Krusty Shuko, who make Rugrats, Wild Thornberries, Rocket Power, Real Monsters. Like, they made these shorts, and they were wonderful. And they're really good. And, like, the opening segments would start with, like, essentially Ronald in live action with Sunday, who, from what I heard, wasn't he like played by some famous actor? I think it was like, what actor? There was some actor who was in that suit. I think it was probably I think it was Wee Man from Jackass or something, wasn't it? I can't remember. But it was really cool to see the live action portions. And then they go to live action. And I remember these. I remember these as a kid. Part of me's even thought about doing a retrospective. I don't know. But I loved those things. They were really fun. And I think you can find them on YouTube now because I think the rights to the McDonald's doesn't give 2 McShits about it. So, yeah, there's that. Oh, my God. Sam, like we said, no review requests, please. No review requests. That's one of my rules. Thoughts on the Golden Compass? I have not seen it since it came out, and I don't think I want to. I remember it just being very boring. Thoughts on The Expanse, the Telltale games? Never played it. Speaking of group, okay, we already did the milkshake thing. You know what? When I went to G-Fest, I was hoping to try it, and I missed it by a week, and I was so mad. I wasn't mad. I was upset. I was like, oh, damn it! I wanted to try that Grimace shake. I love Grimace. I love the Hamburglar, Birdie, Fry Kids, the Nuggets. Y'all don't even remember the Nuggets. Y'all, the fucking Tika. What's his name? Franklin? Yeah, I know my McDonald land lore. I know that shit. I am hungry. Y'all remember that guy? Oh my god, the fact I know the lore of McDonald Land. That's funny. Do you think I have a chance to start my own Transformers fan film, King Kong fan film, Jurassic Park fan film? Look, hey, I'm the type of guy who says you don't need high quality shit to make a movie. Make it with whatever you got, and make it with what money you have, and just use your imagination. That's the best part about filmmaking. You have to be creative. You don't have to always rely on finances to make your films. So just go do it, man. It's not about look. Don't just say it. Do it. Thoughts on Sausage Party? I never saw it. I actually skipped out on that one. I like Lightyear as me accepting it as an alternate universe. Yeah, it's an alternate timeline. It's not the official canon timeline. That goes to Buzz Lightyear of Star Command. I am a dork who knows what's canon. Yes, I do know about the Bubble Bob show episode of SpongeBob that does mimic Nostalgia Critic. It's funny because when did he review? I can't remember how long ago was it since he did the SpongeBob movie review. Because depending on the time, I wonder if they quickly made that episode as a like a take back, like sort of a jab back at Doug, is what I'm curious about. I don't know if there's even commentaries on SpongeBob episodes anymore, but whoever directed that episode, whoever wrote and directed it, I want to hear his thoughts. I want to know where that came from, because if he is a fan of Nostalgia Critic, that would just make too much sense. Yashahime question. Okay, thank you, Adrian. What do you got? Should Moroha love interest be Koga's son if the third season happens? No. I think that would be too weird. In fact, I would love to see their story. Because Koga, spoilers for Yashahime, was glossed over. All we saw was one shot of him and Ayame looking after a baby Moroha, and they basically turned them into Uncle Owen and Aunt Beru. And I'm like, that is such an insult to those characters, especially with all they've been through and their connections to the heroes. First of all, I'll give credit to Kagome that she thought the one person who could look after their daughter if something happens to them is Koga. Because I guess she knew how much Koga cared about her, that Koga would take care of Moroha as he would his own child if he and Kagome conceived. And that is respect. And so I wish we could see, what I want is a fifth movie that closes that rivalry between Inuyasha and Koga. Because Koga was shafted in all 4 films. And in Yashahime, he's not even really a main consistent character. So I would like them to make up for that and either do a 5th movie or do something in the next season if that happens. I don't know. Are they doing a next season, Adrian? Let me know if they are doing that. Thoughts on Arcade Netflix show? I don't know that show. Do you watch a lot of online series like Has Been Hotel or Hullabaloo Boss? I do not. I do not watch that many shows lately. The only shows, here are the current shows I am watching. I'm watching Inuyasha Season 6. I'm watching Skull Island. I'm working on the next vlog soon. And I'm watching Camp Cretaceous. All simultaneously, all on Netflix. Those are the only things I'm watching currently at the moment, and they're the only things I really have time for. Because I am also, right now, actually, believe it or not, guys, I've been on a roll for like 2 or 3 days, filming day after day after day on Season 8, because I'm taking advantage of the next 2 months of summer, because I have to use it for projects. So that's why I've also been kind of absent lately. But I've got a few videos coming up this week, and then on the 20th, I've got a very special episode that I'm putting out, and you guys can check it out actually on my Patreon early on. If you donate, you get to see it early and get to unlock it. So there's that. Hey, Jack, what happens if someone sends a DVD of a movie that you want to ignore in your fan mail? Depends on the movie. I will more than likely I'll probably watch it. It depends on what it is. But normally the way I do opening night requests is either a Patreon sponsor review, or you can send it to me in the mail. So there is that. You should tell the angry video game nerd that Jurassic Park Trespasser is turning 25. I mean, he already reviewed it, so there's not really a point. In fact, I'm due to email James, so I have to reach out to him at some point. Animation takes a long time to make, 1 or 2 years, so it's a coincidence that Nostalgia Critic made a review of SpongeBob with Phantom Master, and then a few weeks SpongeBob mimicked the Nostalgia Critic. Yeah, whoever was on the show as a writer and director clearly is a fan of Doug's work. Where can I send you my demo so we can collaborate sometime? You can send it to you. If anything, I would actually love, definitely send me either a DVD or that would be the best way, more comfortable way for me. If you just send me a DVD and I'll look over it, and just send me a letter, just knowing, and with a enclosure of what's in it, and that will definitely help. So there's that. What if there was a crossover where Ghostbusters meet Godzilla? If it's 98, that would be cool. I actually, you know what I want, Shane? I'm really thinking about it lately. How the fuck have we not gotten Ghostbusters meets Men in Black? Really think about that. They're pretty much on the same side. You have two organizations that are fighting the supernatural. They're fighting spirits and they're fighting aliens. Why haven't they done a crossover yet? I think maybe in the comics they might have, but I'm talking about a movie. Like, imagine then, like, obviously the next Ghostbusters movie is coming out next year for the 40th anniversary of the original. But imagine if the post-credit scene, much like Transformers, they hint the idea that Men in Black exist in the same universe. And then imagine that movie. Imagine the 8 Ghostbusters meets Will Smith, Tommy Lee Jones, Chris Hemsworth, and whoever the chick was in International. And we get that movie. I want to see that. I want to see Men in Black meet Ghostbusters. That would be cool. Thoughts on Nostalgia Critic's first viewing? I actually think, okay, so I still watch Nostalgia Critic because, supporting Doug and stuff, and he still puts out good stuff. But what I know a lot of people have been complaining that he's too tame, that he's like really just kind of lazy. No, I think he's just more informative. There are reasons why some critics don't do the angry shouting review anymore. One, it takes a lot of energy out of you. And second of all, Doug said it himself at one point, because he started losing his voice and he had to be he was warned by his doctor to reduce his vocals. So he doesn't do that anymore. Plus it's, the energy that goes into it. He just doesn't do that much anymore. But I did hear recently about his medical stuff that's happening right now on his Facebook. So I do wish him all the best. But yeah, just, I do like the fact that instead of being angry and stuff, like, he'll still crack a joke at a movie. Why is my hair so bad? My bangs are awful. I am so sorry. It looks like shit. I do like how much more informative he is with his reviews, that he's actually being more factual, and rather than, just that. And I think that another reason he's doing that a lot more is because he's constrained. Ever since COVID, they haven't been able to use the studios much. And then once COVID ended, they're thinking, okay, we can get back to making stuff at the studio. Then it got flooded. Then the tornado hit like a motherfucker. And they're trying to repair it. And it's going to take a couple months to get back into it. So I'm hoping at the least that once they get the studio back up and running, that they will probably be able to do big videos again. And God bless them. I hope, honestly, I hope, like, I would love to join those and help out. Like, I know when the studio did get hit, I did email Doug and I did say to him, hey man, heard about the studio, so sorry. If you need any help if you want to use our studio, just hit me up, and I'll film stuff. So I am there to support my fellow critics when needed, because you know what, like, something like that is heartbreaking. It is heartbreaking for anybody on that field. So there's that. Thoughts on Doug's Chapman? Chapman and Buster are adorable. Love those guys. Buster's great. Love those guys. Okay, so I have the ultimate question. Bring it. Would you rather play the worst game you ever played, King Kong 2005 okay, it was Kong 2005 for the Nintendo DS. I will never play that piece of shit again. That is an unfinished game. It was unbeatable because it was so unfinished and it was rushing a deadline. I will never play that. Probably not. Although I am tinkering with some more game reviews at some point. I was thinking about that crossover with Ghostbusters meets Men in Black, and I would love to see that. Thanks. Yeah, exactly. I want that. Big battle in New York. Be amazing. I don't know. Put Spider-Man in there while you're at it, Sony. Spider-Man, Venom, Godzilla 98. Just the battle for New York without the Avengers. Let's go. Or would you rather watch the worst film? You know what? At least King of the Lost World, which is one of the worst movies I've ever seen, at least that's watchable to a degree. Big news! All the characters' lines have been recorded for my first chapter of the King Kong audio drama. Editing will begin soon. Awesome! Yes! Come on back, Huey. We miss you, man. We miss you. We want your videos back up and running. We want to see you back in action. Guys, go support him. Go subscribe. Support his Patreon. Definitely is appreciated on my end. I want to see Huey 2 more back. I want the Soul Saga to come to its closure. I want Huey back, goddammit. I want him back. Yeah, because once you get back, man, we gotta do that. We gotta do those crossovers, dude. Like, I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to your full return. So it'll be like the prodigal animated critic has returned. There we go. So there's your big shout out, man. Hey Jack, the Nostalgia Critic had it post a new video on the Truman Show. Oh, he did a review? Okay, I'll check that out. Do you remember the anime cartoon Spider Writers? No, I do not. What is that? Any fan mail? No. Fan mail has been delayed for a bit. Let's see here. Heck yeah, I'll be sure to check it out when released. Awesome. The Soul Saga will hopefully end soon, by the way. Screw the Men in Black. I want to see Ghostbusters Gargoyles. That'd be cool, although they'd have to get that past Disney. It'd be cool. Fan fiction, but or even fan film material, but doubt it with Disney. But I mean, just at least Sony owns Men in Black. You know, would be cool. Has anybody done fan art of Ghostbusters versus Godzilla 98? I'm curious about that. Oh, Isaac has a good question. How did you get Doug Walker to be in your Ready Player One review? Really just, you know what? Here's the thing. People ask me, how do I get these people? It's really just building connections. It's really just being patient, and it's really just not coming off as a fan, not coming off as a guy who's obsessed, and you got to come off like a very professional business guy. And that's what it takes to get these guys, Doug found me through multiple reasons. Our connections go back for a while. Like, I did meet him in 2012, a very nice guy back then. And that was before my show started. And then really, we started hitting off in terms of just like working together on a few things back in Niagara Falls. I believe Doug has brought this story up a few times on his Twitch, is that we were all at a convention at Niagara Falls. Storytime, folks. We were at a convention in Niagara Falls, and he was actually filming, I think he filmed the segment for the other animated Titanic movie, the Tentacolino movie or something, at this convention. And the convention was on both the Canadian side and the American side. So Josh and I went to the American side, took the car over the border, got our passports, just checked that out, and then we parked there, went to see Doug, and went to his panel. Then afterwards, he had to rush over to the Canadian side to do autographs. Now, the problem with this setup, the problem with this flawed setup, security, border security, and because of that, it raised a huge problem. It actually, from what I heard, that convention just flopped completely. It flopped, and on top of that, I don't know if they got sued or not, because I think you'd be sued for something like that. So what happened was that Josh and I, instead of just driving over the border, we walked over the bridge at Niagara Falls, and we saw there was a huge lineup to get over the border, and we were looking at each other like, there's no way they're going to get in. There was traffic and crazy. Right when we're very close to getting in, we see in the corner of our eye, Doug, his wife, I believe Barney, and Brad Jones, Cinema Staff, and they were walking over. And we knew they had to get to this thing first. So we waved them down, said, hey, yo, guys, go ahead of us. Go ahead of us. So they went ahead of us. They got in. We got in shit with security at the border. And we had to explain to them, hey, we're just helping some friends out. We got lashed pretty hard by the security. The security guy was not taking it well that day. And then we went out, and we were thinking, oh, we almost got in shit for that. But Doug was waiting for us. Doug was actually waiting for us. And I think he was very grateful that we got him over because he saw how big the line was. And he said, hey, are you okay? And I said, yeah, security guy was a dick. He said, yeah, what an asshole. But he was so gracious that he let us hang out with them for the rest of that afternoon. And it was great to, hit it off and, connect with them and talk to them about stuff and, all this shit. I told him, hey, I used to watch you guys in high school. and he's like, wow. So it was cool to see Brad there and all that shit. So afterwards, Josh and I, we kind of just sat at a KFC and basically just kind of realized, what the hell did we just do? And we quoted Muppet Treasure Island, where it's like, yo, Josh, we're heroes. We saved the critic and the snob. Help! It was too late to save the Comic-Con. No! So that happened, and then we walked out, and as we're walking out, we bump, boom, right into James Rolfe, the nerd. It was him and his wife. They were absolutely amazing to talk to just for a brief moment. And it was okay, good experience at the convention, but the convention was overall shit. It was absolute garbage. It was a disaster. But how funny is it that we meet through disaster, which is great. So afterwards, obviously, James and I had emailed back and forth and doing business and connections. And Doug and I really started working with each other when I actually pitched to him the Godzilla vs. Kong review that I had gotten James involved. And I pitched it to him on Twitch, and he was just like, huh. So he said, actually email me if you're doing something. So I emailed him. I told him, hey, it doesn't have to be too quick. It's just a quick little cameo. It's something really funny, continuing the rivalry between you and the nerd. And then that's how it started. And then afterwards, a year later, I reached out to him again about Ready Player One. I said, hey, man, don't have to do this if you don't want to, but I've got my 10th anniversary coming up, and, it'd be great to have you on. And he was actually already on board with it from the very beginning. But just to, honestly, just because, I really did appreciate him making a cameo, I did donate to Cameo, which goes to charity. I do donate to charity a lot and on occasion. And it was going to a really good cause that holiday season. So he was nice enough to actually do the cameos that we got. And he actually gave me a ton of takes that he was only supposed to appear in part 1. So, but there were so many great takes that I was able to forge him into part 2 and 3, which was nice. I thought that, I actually it was really cool to do that, to put him in all 3 parts. It worked out really to my favor. And I really appreciate that with Doug. I really appreciate him. I mean, say what you will about his whole career, and some people are a little harsher than others. I still respect them. I still respect the fact that he appreciates his fans, and that he's doing really good for himself. He gets over the humps of life that are just, either, over the passage of time, you realize, wow, that was negative to a degree. So I'll say this too, is that one of the things I am doing in terms of YouTube Rehab, just to catch up, if you guys want to know why I'm called YouTube Rehab, check out the beginning of the video. But to the point is that the reason I'm also going to YouTube Rehab and, reorganizing and re-routining my lifestyle and my schedule and my time is also to get a lot of negative energy out of my life. And because it has been, since the pandemic, consuming a lot of it and making me make a lot of rash decisions, harsh decisions based on fear, and just, previous endeavors that I was not fond of, that I try to avoid. So I've been really going into weaning off negative energy through different techniques and abilities to help better improve my life. So I'm replacing it with more positive outcomes, positive energy. And it's not just negative energy. It's not just negative energy. It's negative people. Socially, I'm just replacing a lot of the bad eggs. There's a saying I've been having a lot lately that I came up with personally, and you guys can use this, is that every group, organization, race, religion, whatever, any club you're in, has a set of bad eggs in the henhouse. And if those bad eggs are not tossed out, your henhouse is going to stink. And lately there's been a lot of bad eggs in a lot of areas that have been stinking up the henhouses that nobody wants to be around. So rather than just walk away from the henhouse, I'm cleaning the henhouse. I'm getting rid of the rotten eggs. I'm clearing out the stench. I'm cleaning out the stink. And I'm replacing it with fresh eggs, fresh, cleansing, healthy, eggs, just shit like that. That's just sort of a metaphor for what I'm talking about. I'm taking a lot of the negative aspects of my life and replacing them with positive. And they have been, for the last week and a half, working extremely well. Now, there have been some harsh elements to it, but they have been helping. So that's one of the reasons I am also going into essentially my own version of Rehab. But other than that, it is just routine. It is just reorganizing things, because I have been, let's put it like this. my routine is like a really nice like convertible. Doing really well, really successful. COVID was like a big crash. And I have been essentially driving the same vehicle, even though it's all banged and busted up. And people are telling me, dude, get rid of the banged up convertible. Get rid of it. Toss it out in the junkyard. And I said to myself, no, I'm going to drive this thing until certain things are finished. Certain things are finished. I can now pull in this busted convertible and toss it in the dumpster, toss it in the junkyard, collect the insurance money, and go get something else that's better, shinier, and prettier in my life. And that's sort of what I've been doing in terms of rehabilitation, is essentially just not restarting my show, not resetting my my continuity, just more resetting my life to a much more positive degree. So I hope that clears up and explains why I've been a little bit absent lately, because I did owe myself a huge reset in my life, especially now in this new decade. It's just taken about 3 years to get to, so there's that. So I do appreciate it from all you guys so much, the appreciation on your end, and I hope that answers your question, Isaac. It's a bit of a long one, but it was worth a shot. Thank you so much. Again, thank you. Have I seen Cassandra Crossing? I have not seen that. Are you familiar with David Allen's Primevals? I have not. I've heard about it, but I have not fully seen much of it. Let's see here. Thoughts on voice actress Nicholas Oliver? Don't know who that is. I have not seen Turbulence. What's worse, Godzilla Monster Planet trilogy or Singular Point? I'd say Monster Planet is actually worse. I heard Singular Point wasn't too bad. Everybody asked me about Primeval. I have yet to watch it yet. Okay, I'll tell you what. If there's enough donations on Patreon, you know what? I'll do an opening night. That'll be like, if I can get my Patreon up to, let's say, $10-15. I'll do Primeval as an opening night. I'll watch the whole show. If Steven Spielberg did his adaptation of Moby Dick, would you prefer to see Moby Dick as the last surviving Leviathan Melville, the sperm whale? Is he doing an adaptation of Moby Dick? I don't know. I haven't seen that many adaptations outside of, I think there was one like the 60s, but I prefer, my favorite whale movie is Orca, hands down. How many bootleg copies of King Kong movies? I actually do. I own 2 bootlegs of the Peter Jackson remake, which are rampant, and they're not really much to write home about. There are no cam copies with audience reactions or whatnot. I did used to own a crappy quality bootleg of the original Kong that was on a DVD, and the pitch was way too low. I remember that one. God, I remember that one a lot. But yeah, I do own a few of those. I would like actually to get more of those. Like, it'd be cool to have. Let's see here. Here's the biggest question I'm going to ask you in history. Jack, what are your thoughts on Jar Jar Binks? You will find out when I review Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace, coming soon. But in all seriousness, I think he's overhated. And I love Jar Jar. I don't care what people say. I'll make fun of him, but I'll make fun of him because I love him. No, but that would be hardcore. If Kong 76 and 33 fought, who would win? My money is actually, I can't decide. I would say, guys, buddies, my boys, stop fighting. You both love each other. No adaptation, just a what if. It'd be interesting. I'd be curious to see that. Are you going to like, you're going to like Primeval. I had a better action than Jurassic World. Interesting. Okay. I've not seen Mad God. I want to. I just haven't had time, but I've heard good things about it. Alana actually has been recommending me watch it. Will you watch TMNT Mutant Mayhem this week? Also, rest in peace, Paul Rubens. Yeah! Right, Paul Rubens. Wow! 2023. You know what that bugs? Year 2023. You give us Glitch McConnell. You don't take Mitch McConnell, but you take Pee Wee Herman. Fuck you. Fuck you, 2023. You gotta do that one dick move every year. Motherfucker. Just, you take Paul, yet you don't take Mitch. That was my response. I'm like, okay, you take Mitch right the fuck now. You take Mitch right now, and we'll call it square 2023. Capiche? You'll be even. We'll be even. There. Essentially. Are you upset that the original King Kong is yet to get a 4K? No, it's funny because like quality control with the original isn't really that bad anymore. Like the movie's fine as it is. I actually think out of all the releases, the Laserdisc has been my favorite because that is like really good quality, surprisingly, for Laserdisc. Thoughts on King Kong 2005 have changed? Yeah, the plan is once I hit episode 100 of King Kong reviews, I'm going to re-review the original, the 76, and Peter Jackson's and give them a fair shake. And a bit more in-depth. Thoughts on Mr. Beast? Never seen him. Tomorrow's Tuxedo Mask. That man is 50? Tuxedo Mask is fucking 50 tomorrow. Are you shitting me? Old man Tuxedo Mask. Why do I want that now? Why do I want Old Man Tuxedo Mask? That'd be amazing. That'd be awesome. Oh my god, I gotta talk to Toby about that. The Barbie movie sucks, the new TMNT movie. Yeah, I've heard mixed things about Barbie. I do want to see it, but not for the reasons everybody else is talking about. But I heard that they don't really do what I want them to do. So there's that. But I may see Ninja Turtles. Here, Bull Goldman. Yeah, I heard he passed away too recently. Bull Goldman, the man who wrote one of my favorite movies, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, who was also responsible for writing the Legend of King Kong screenplay, recently passed away at 90-something. But that's the thing. Unlike Paul Rubens, Bo Goldman lived a life. The guy was old. The guy was like 90-something. That's a normal human lifespan. Like, you're lucky to get that far at this point. But, yeah, it was kind of sucks that he passed away. Let's see. I'm going to watch Rise of the Beast tonight, so no spoilers. Yeah, dude, you're going to like it. It's the best one since the first one. Not just the Michael Bay film, but the 86 film. It is the best one, in my opinion. I loved it. Just want to let you know that I took away Andrew. Ha! Nobody does. Thoughts on Blue, the Velociraptor? She is our god. She's adorable. She's really adorable. In fact, I will say this. Minor spoilers for the Legacy reviews. She will make a practical appearance. Is all I'll say. She'll make a very practical appearance. So look forward to that. Never seen Mr. Beast. I'm not big into those big YouTubers that don't do much for me. I've been into that shit since like Smosh died. Really. Have I met any Kong actors at conventions? I have, many times. Here, the ones I've met even at film festivals. I have met Rene Auberjonois before he passed away. He was Roy Bagley in 76. I met Peter Cullen. He's actually coming back to Fan Expo with Frank Welker, mind you. So you guys can go check that out. I will be at Fan Expo, by the way, in a couple weeks. I've met Linda Hamilton, who was in King Kong Lives. I have met who else have I met? I've met a few people I met one of the actors in the Peter Jackson remake. I met Naomi Watts. Very sweet. Met her at TIFF. I've met actually at G-Fest, I bumped into Linda Miller from King Kong Escapes. Very sweet lady. We've known each other as friends for a while. But I've met a few of the actors. And all of them have been genuinely nice. I did see Andy Serkis at a panel at Comic-Con back in March, which was cool. He's a really nice chap, from what I heard. I missed my chance to meet him, but you know what? Next time he comes in, I'm going to meet Andy Serkis, because, you know, why not? You know, everybody knows him as Gollum and Caesar. No, for me, it's Kong. For me, it's King Kong. I would love to meet Toby Kebbell, who was Kong in Kong Skull Island. He seems like a genuinely nice guy. In fact, it's funny, because at G-Fest, not just Linda Miller, but I think like what's his name, T.J. Storm, who does the motion capture for Godzilla and the Legendary films. Ironically, all three of us were in a documentary together called The Legend of King Kong, directed by really cool chap who I was recommended to by James to be in his documentary. So that was fun. Go check that out, guys. It's a really cool documentary. But let's see here. Have I met? I haven't met Andy Serkis. Thoughts on other films in Studio Ghibli's library besides Spirited Away? Great question, Martin. I mean, I love Spirited Away. Don't get me wrong. That's my favorite animated film of all time. But other films, okay, so just to name the ones I've seen, I really liked Ponyo. I saw that in theaters. I thought it was really adorable. I really like Howl's Moving Castle. I've come to appreciate that a lot lately. And those are really, there's only a few Ghibli films I have seen. I can tell you the ones I have not seen. I've not seen Castle in the Sky. I have not seen Nausicaa Valley of the Wind. I have seen Princess Mononoke. I love Princess Mononoke. Don't get me wrong. Love Princess Mononoke. Haven't seen Porco Rosso. I want to see The Cat Returns because of Carrie Always. But I've also, there's one, I remember it was advertised a lot on home video. Never got a chance to see it. I've been having a hard time finding a copy. Kiki's Delivery Service. I've heard nothing but great things about Kiki. I know I should watch it, but I want to wait to find the right, because the thing is, look, I'm gonna watch English dubs. I'm sorry, I watch English dubs of anime, so I want to see the one with the who are the two actors in the English dub of Kiki's Delivery Service. I think it's like Kirsten Dunst and Matthew Lawrence are in that dub. So I think like Kirsten Dunst is Kiki, which is actually, you know what? That's actually a cool idea. I do like the fact that, yes, Mary Jane did become a superhero. She became a witch named Kiki. So where's my Spider-Man Kiki movie? Where's that shit? I'd pay to see that. But I heard Porco Rosso is good. But there's one Miyazaki movie / kind of Ghibli movie that I have seen that not many people talk about. And it's something even I'm thinking about reviewing at some point. And I think Huey will probably be like, yeah! Little Nemo Adventures in Slumberland. Yes, I know that Miyazaki was on it for only a short period of time. I know it went through production hell. George Lucas, Ray Bradbury, Chris Columbus were all involved. There were cast members left and right. Ray Arbajonis is Professor Genius. Mickey Rooney is Flip. The Sherman Brothers did the music. I grew up with this movie. Don't get me wrong. I grew up with Little Nemo. I grew up with that film. I love it. Wait, you haven't reviewed... Huey, my boy. Hold up, Huey. Of all people, you have not reviewed that? Are you kidding me? How? In your career, your decade of review show, how have you not reviewed that? Oh my God. Okay, if I get some money, man, I'm sending you a Patreon. Like, I'll send you whatever I got. But man, anything to just say, get that review, man. Little Nemo, that's the fucking shit. Oh, great movie. But yeah, I technically count that as a Miyazaki movie. Now, I know you're thinking, well, he was on it for a short period of time. He did quote as saying it was one of the worst career choices. He said he had a terrible experience. I do know that. I do know that he has stated many a time he had a hard time. But you know what? He was involved. And on top of that, honestly, the animation style, despite it not being Studio Ghibli, it's TMS. And I love the fact that TMS has it for free on their YouTube channel. Kudos to them. But the fact that the animation quality and the style and look looks so much like a Miyazaki movie. I know he did do some test stuff, but the fact that it still kind of keeps that flow. I'm sorry, I count it. I do count it as a Miyazaki movie. And for me, without that film, I don't think I would have gotten into Studio Ghibli. I remember when I went to see Spirited Away in cinemas. And I was watching it, and I'm like, this animation looks oddly familiar. Oh, this has that Little Nemo vibe to it. And then I realized, oh, it's because Miyazaki made both. So, you know what? I love Little Nemo. And part of me, I love that film. And it's like, talk about a movie that's underappreciated. I know it has behind-the-scenes problems. In fact, I'm going to blow y'all minds for a sec. There is one actor in Little Nemo, Adventures in Slumberland, that is in the film that did 2 movies that year in 1987. I think, yeah, was it 1989 or 1987 that movie came out? Cannot remember. But that kid, that actor, scored double that year because he was in another movie. So basically, the actor is the voice actor who did Nemo, the main kid. Is the same voice actor, just get ready for it, he is the same voice actor who played Littlefoot in the original Land Before Time. That kid made double money that year. Have I blown your mind? So if you want to hear the voice of Littlefoot in a totally different film, go watch Little Nemo. It's free on their YouTube channel. It's free. I would recommend this movie. It is actually really fun. It's very artistic, very creative. Music by the Sherman Brothers beats the Mighty Kong any day. Great fucking movie. In fact, God, maybe I'll put that on my list at some point. I will review Little Nemo. I'm sure because it's free on YouTube, they won't care. And it's an American-Japanese co-production, but you know what? Guys, go watch that movie. If you have not seen Little Nemo, good movie. One of the best animated films of the 80s, in my opinion. And yes, I have seen the Nostalgia Crisis review of it, but you know what? It's a movie that's underappreciated. It's a movie that doesn't get much love. I grew up with it as a kid. I freaking love it. I would recommend it. I would recommend Little Nemo. Great movie. Great animated movie. God, it makes me want to go back and watch it. I'm going to ask a couple friends. You know what? Normally when I go back and watch a movie I haven't seen in a while, I ask friends if they have seen it so that we can all watch it together and I can get their experience as well. It makes it more fun. So there's that. I mean, okay. It's not a well critically received review, but it is funny. I will admit, it was cool to see the last of the Hindenburg jokes. That joke actually still makes me laugh. But there's still some jokes in there I do like. I do like the dance scene. There is some stuff that actually did make me laugh. And that's the thing with Nostalgia Critic now. I don't go into it for his perspective. I go into it to laugh. Or I go in to be informed. There's some stuff I've seen that he reviewed that I was actually... I learned something. Like, I didn't know this, that the voice of Tarzan in the Disney movie is the same guy who plays the bad guy in Ghost. I didn't know that. And I was like, what? What? So it's cool that he's more informative and funny. And that's what I go for his reviews for. I don't care about his opinion's his opinion, but you know, he's very informative and he's really funny. So yeah, there's Little Nemo. You know, I've never seen that, Sammy. I've never seen Watership Down, believe it or not. And I don't think I want to. I've heard nothing, but it's a kid's movie. It's not a kid's movie. What if King Kong was reworked into a horror movie? Yes! Yes! Hashtag make King Kong scary again. He hasn't really been scary since the original. When people were terrified of him. Back when he would grab the girl, take him to the jungle, and you were rooting for the guys to say, come on, guys, let's go save the girl. Let's go. And the monsters were scary. God, make it scary again. Because King Kong's like the biggest monster of all time. He is the biggest star of Hollywood, but he's labeled a monster. Like a movie monster. How the fuck have they not made him scary since? Like, he was kind of in Skull Island. I will admit, that was the last time he actually was terrifying. But yeah, man. God, I miss King Kong being scary. Let's see. And the main character of Ghost is played by Esmeralda. Yeah, Demi Moore. I knew that. I knew Demi Moore was in Ghost as well. Wow, Disney like to use a lot of Ghost actors. I'm surprised. Like, they used Whoopi Goldberg in The Lion King. Like, how the fuck did they not get Patrick Swayze in any of their movies? Like, I'm surprised. Patrick Swayze would have been a great actor in one of their Disney movies. I'm surprised. Guarantee somebody at the Disney Renaissance back in the 80s and 90s was a fan of Ghost. Or in the 90s, some person at Disney, head at Disney, said, I want to sneakily get the whole cast of Ghost in all these movies. You know somebody was a fan. That's a good movie, Ghost. Ghost is a good movie. Let's see. Thoughts on the Planet of the Apes trilogy. The Andy Serkis trilogy, great series of films. Believe it or not, I have not fully seen the last one because I heard it got really depressing, whereas like the last two were like decent action, but also very dramatic, but this one aims more for the drama. I actually didn't see it. I heard it was like really depressing, and that's why I kind of skipped out. From what I heard, it was basically Schindler's List for apes, and I'm like, oh, I don't know if I want to watch that for 3 hours. Like, I want to see my apes do some cool shit. So, I don't know. I'm more fond to the first four. I love the Andy Serkis trilogy, but I am very much fond of the original 4 Apes movies out of all of them. Thoughts on Jurassic World. I've already covered the first 2. You will see my thoughts on the last one later on when I get to the Legacy reviews. Do you have any plans to review the Pirate Sentai Gokaiger? It's not a request, it's just a question. I haven't watched Gokaiger. I have seen Super Mega Force. Was not a fan. Although I'm okay. So I'll say this, a little spoiler. Obviously, I had planned to cover the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers movie from '95. But I will say, tune in Friday. There's a little video, tokusatsu kind of video coming out. Little short something. but you'll see it when you see it. So look forward to that. Let's see. I was watching a deletion from Jaws. Let's see. If Godzilla can be scary in a horror perspective, King Kong do the same. Yeah. Like, I mean, that's what I'm looking for. Like, that's what I love about Shin Godzilla, and that's why I'm really looking forward to Godzilla -1, aka the sequel to Oppenheimer. I'm on the bandwagon that I think Cillian Murphy should make a cameo in -1. Just one cameo to make it all canon and be like, good God, what have we done? Like, just one line. He just needs one line, because they both take place in 1945. So I kind of want that. It's so dumb, but I don't care. Batman Robin is a horror film. It's scary how bad it is. I love Batman Robin. I don't know what you're talking about. Giant snapping turtle for King Kong swap scene. That's a cool idea. Can it be a long neck snapping turtle? There you go. Make that a thing. I saw the third movie. It was good. Yeah, I heard it was good. Thoughts on the deleted scene from Jaws, the shark dragging a person intact? I can see why it was cut. It just kind of felt like it was stopping the plot and the pace. And also the effect doesn't look that good, to be honest. Like, it's a terrifying effect for 75. But, that's okay. Are you going to review the Men in Black series? Nah. I think that TikTok video me and Sean did at G-Fest, that's as close as you're going to get. I'm not a big fan of those movies. I think they are kind of boring, although I do like the song. That song is pretty good. Do you still ship Owen and Blue, or was it a joke? It was a joke. It was a joke on my end. But I do know there are fans, specifically fangirls, who have humanoid the Raptor Squad to make essentially Owen and the Raptor Squad as sort of this harem anime. If it's something like that from Japan, then I can kind of get behind it because it sounds like so insane that I can kind of buy it. But as a Jurassic Park thing, hell no. No, that is okay. I want my human dino hybrids, but that's going too far, to be honest. That's going too far. I would rather than a Raptor harem series, I would have rather that the girl ended up going all Full Metal Alchemist twist. If you know what I'm talking about, you're saying, bro, we don't make fun of that. I'm like, no, I make fun of that. Full Metal Alchemist twist with Maisie. That's what they should have done. I'm sorry, that's what they should have done. That would have been dark, cruel, but it would have been batshit insane. Worst Kong design, in your opinion? I'm going to have to give that to, I think a lot of people, King Kong versus Godzilla. If we're counting the ripoffs, definitely Queen Kong, Ape, and Yeti have the worst designs. But yeah, probably like mainstream Kong films, probably King Kong versus Godzilla. Like, he looks terrible. Are you one of those people who ship Link and Zelda together? It's kind of a given that they're kind of a thing, right? TMN 2012 series made... oh, interesting. Okay. All that Blue and Owen shipping fanfiction. Yeah. Okay, that's the thing. Like, not to get into the details, but some of it is, like, odd. But, like, look. I like the second Sailor Moon movie. That's the best of the trilogy. But in that movie, Luna wants to become human to be with this guy because she's fallen in love with this guy. It's weird when she's a cat. But when she's, like, a moon princess thing, it's perfectly fine, is all I'll say. So, like, with that, if you did that with this, I see no complaints. Let's see. King Kong was scary in 1933. Goofy for those two Japanese films, realistic and sympathetic as 1976. Yeah. Actually, you know what, guys? Matthew B. Lammett, I haven't heard from you in a long-ass time, man. Good to see you. Glad you're in good spirits. Glad you're still doing well. Guys, if you can find his King Kong documentary, Hail to the King of King Kong, really informative, really well done, worth seeking out. Check it out when you can. Ever heard of Dinosaur from the Deep from 1993? I have not. Favorite Titanic movie? The James Cameron film. That, or you know what? I like the 1996 TV movie with Tim Curry and Catherine Zeta-Jones and George C. Scott. That thing's great. Thoughts on the Tyrannosaurus from Walking with Dinosaurs? Okay, Hewitt brought this up in his old top 10 animated dinosaur documentaries, that he didn't like he thought the model was ugly, which kind of is. To be honest, I think it was a cool design. I think it was pretty nifty. I think the tail was a little too thin, but honestly, like, I do like that design. I do enjoy that one. I think out of all the designs of Walking with Dinosaurs I love the hell out of the Allosaur design and the Diplodocus and Ornithochirus and Utah Raptor. Those dinosaurs, best they've ever looked. My friend Razor X made a better version of Dominion called How Would Fix Dominion. Also, Owen and Blue are more of a dad and daughter thing to me. Yeah, it's the same thing with what is it? There was something that just happened recently that was just kind of like weird. Can't remember. Yep. Do the critic joke. I have. That is the best of the movies. That is my favorite of the movies. Why? Dinosaurs. You put dinosaurs in your movie, I'll go see it. That's why I went to see 65, and I had a damn good time. Dinosaurs. They sell to me. They make money. Shut up and take my money, you put dinosaurs. Okay, yes, I know the Meg 2 has a dinosaur in it or a dinosaur scene, but it's not the full goddamn movie. If it was Jason Statham on a dinosaur island, actually, that sounds amazing. Make that movie! Give me my Jason Statham on Dino Island. I'd be cool with that. But we ain't getting that. It's another shark movie. But I love the third one. I love the creativity behind the dinosaurs is great. I saw that in theaters not expecting much, and I was just like, oh, this is good. I love, probably my favorite scene is, first of all, I love the fact that they include as many dinosaurs as they could. I love the dog fight. Like, literally the pterodactyl dog fight, where the weasels and that one-eyed guy, they hijack a pteranodon, flying it around, and then there's like a squadron of them, and it's like a World War II dogfight. And it's really fun, really creative, really smart. Great stuff in that. And then the Rudy T-Rex fight at the end. Oddly enough, that was sort of a prototype, like sort of a prediction of what Jurassic World would be. Oddly enough. And I remember when I saw that movie, I actually had a good time with that fight scene, only because this was pre-Jurassic World, and we were still waiting for a fourth movie. And so when I saw that fight, I was like, you know what? That made me happy, because that was sort of my Jurassic Park 3 at the time. That's for killing the T-Rex in the third movie. For me, that was sort of my vengeance. But thankfully, Jurassic World did kind of the same thing. But it is sort of a prototype to Jurassic World in a way. The Raptors actually are also a cool design. So I really do like Dawn of the Dinosaurs. That is my favorite of all the Ice Age movies. Land of the Lost. That's another good one. I saw that in a Cliff Mountain theater, like built in a mountain. That was also a film museum. And they're playing it 35 millimeter. And I remember I watched Land of the Lost, and you know what? I had a good time with that movie. I did like the fact they made the dinosaurs sort of comedically smart. That when the T-Rex like walks away from the bridge, and Will Ferrell's just talking shit to Grumpy, and like Grumpy just looks back like, the fuck did you just say? And he literally is like, oh, I'm dumb. I've got the brain of a Walmart. All right, try me, bitch. Leaps over the cliff and says, now what, Will Ferrell? I love that Land of the Lost movie. People don't just forget about it. I'm like, that's a good dino movie. The Allosaurus, I think it's first theatrical film in a long time. The Raptors are cool. That was a good movie. I mean, like, I know people say, well, it butchered the TV show. It was nothing like the show. Like, look, I didn't really grow up with the show Land of the Lost. It was before my time. Same thing with dinosaurs. I caught the last end of that dinosaur show, the Jim Henson show. But Land of the Lost didn't really grow up with. I like the stop motion stuff. It's pretty cool, but you're not going to get me to sit through it. But I did like the movie. I actually really did enjoy the Land of the Lost movie. Talk about a movie people forgot about so goddamn quickly. The effects on that are great. Thoughts on Twitter changing his name to X? Still the same thing. I get a little lost on my phone, but that's about it. It's the only inconvenience. Hey, Jack, great for you. Deserve more than getting a million subscribers. Thank you so much. In fact, guys, we are very close to 20,000 subscribers. I have nothing planned, but guys, if you can get me to 20,000, really appreciate it. Just get me to 20,000, support our Patreon, get our algorithm up. Really would appreciate that, guys. I love Disney's Dinosaur. That's another one I want to talk about someday. It's a skeleton, so it doesn't count for me. Decent movie, though. Let's see here. Giant mosquito scene did make me laugh. Yeah, actually, that was a funny scene. Will Ferrell DNA. Are you getting sick of something bigger than a T-Rex cliche that started in 3? I'm not sick of it, but you know what I am sick of? The T-Rex always taking a backhand. Always taking a back step for something else to kill it. The last 2 Jurassic World movies, like Jurassic World and Dominion did that, and it bugged me. The T-Rex should have gotten the goddamn kill. He should have taken the kill. In Jurassic World, should have snapped that I-Rex's neck and then throw it over to the Mosasaur pit. Dominion should have killed the Giganotosaurus. Should have been what to kill it. In fact, having the Threscerosaurus with the claw thing, it was cool to see that thing in a movie, but unnecessary to have in the climax. It was such an anticlimactic thing. I'm with those people. It should have been Spinosaurus. It should have been Spino. Have them team up and then fight each other. Do a Transformers 3. That's what I would have liked, to see a Transformers 3 with that, where like maybe Rexy's fighting Gigo. He gets his knocked down. The Gigano is like roaring in triumphant. And then literally, Spinosaurus comes in at the Gigo, literally like Megatron attacking Sentinel, saying, "This is my planet." And then he looks up and, maybe like he knocks down the, no, here's what I would have been ballsy. I would have had the Spinosaur kill the Giganotosaurus. And then you have that, and then literally just do Transformers 3, where it's like, "Where would you be without me, Rexy? Time to find out." And then they just go at it. Oh, that would have been cool. And then Rexy finally takes the final kill. He gets that Spinosaurus. That would have been awesome. But no. That whole movie, Dominion, as much as I think it was better than Fallen Kingdom, it's not by much. Not by much, because you gotta remember, they had a totally different, like, they had probably a better script when they started shooting. Then COVID shut it down, and they had to rework the whole damn. They actually took time to rewrite the script and do something a lot more tame and a lot more. It felt more cost effective, honestly. I actually do think that Dominion, despite having great practical effects, despite being an entertaining movie, it felt cheaper, surprisingly. But yeah, it was better than the last film. It was better than the Fallen Kingdom. So you're getting an early rant about Dominion, but I will be getting to that. I'm working on those reviews right now. Yeah, Megatron offer peace. Yeah, I like. You know what? I'm one of the minority, but I like the fact, at least by part 3, that Optimus Prime is a cold-blooded killer. Like, look, I don't like the fact that the cartoon, if it was the cartoon Optimus and the ones we have now, if he did that, I would have been like, hell no, right? But I love the fact that this Optimus has been beaten to a bloody pulp mentally, with so much shit happening, as much as he tries to find the peaceful route, that sometimes there is no peace with these people, as much as he is merciful, as much as he is peaceful. And by part 3, ignoring the events of 4 and 5, I love the fact that Optimus was so fucking done. He was done. No more playing around. I was nice. I was negotiable. I was compromising. I was peaceful. But you goddamn Decepticons do not learn your goddamn lesson. Now, I gotta take y'all bitches out. He just is having none of it. He is wiping ass clean, and I kind of love it. I kind of love Madimus Prime. He is mad. He is done. He gives zero fucks except for humans and his comrades. But the Decepticons, he's like, y'all are fucking done. I am done with you bitches. I don't care. I love the third film. The third film's an entertaining, hardcore mess. And it's a glorious one. I love it. Oh, man. Man. Great shit. Dominion was cheaper. Yeah, there. Proves my point. They cut costs. Probably because the pandemic was costing them. That's why. Pandemic took half their money. That's probably what happened. Oh, my God. Paul Verhoeven and Phil Tippett were to direct Dinosaur back in the 80s, but would have been silent. See, I would actually still like to see that. If Phil Tippett could pull that off, it'd be great. Like, I think what it was is that they were going to get that done, but then the project kind of got shafted. So Phil Tippett did those animated stop motion shorts and created Prehistoric Beasts, which then led to that amazing dinosaur documentary with Christopher Reeve. Great stuff. They asked for additional footage. So have you gotten to season 4 and 5 yet? No, I have not. I've actually had to take a break because I had to focus on other things. Once I finish Skull Island, I'm going to get back on it. Thoughts on Peach's song from Super Mario Brothers movie? It's nice. It's nice. I've already answered that question, Sam. What are your thoughts on the first Ice Age movie? It has its moments. It's somewhat funny. I do like that song, Send Me On My Way. I do like some of the soundtrack. I haven't seen it since it came out. Or I haven't seen it for a long time. Let's see. Go back to the beginning of it. Let's see here. I like the Giganotosaurus design. I wish it was treated better. Didn't even killed. Thoughts on We're Back? Love We're Back. That's a great movie. Didn't forget about that one. Let's see. Yeah, like I do think the Giganotosaurus was kind of underused. Could have been much more intimidating threat. I did like the fact it was an animatronic and it was on camera. They didn't digitally enhance it. It was cool. Anyway, guys, I think actually we're gonna actually call it here. I think I'm getting a little tired. We've actually gone over an hour. I wanted to just get something out there for you guys this week. Really appreciate you guys coming in. Really appreciate the support and patience. Don't forget, guys, support my Patreon. Contributions are really helping out, especially with what my mom's going through right now. And we're getting stuff done, essentially. We're getting things going. But really do appreciate your time here, guys, and answering questions and having fun and going through a rant. I haven't done one of these in a while. I'm going to try to get more people on, but I'm going to get back into the swing of things slowly. But as I'm doing YouTube Rehab, where I'm just taking care of myself, my health, my mental well-being, and so on, I am much due for this, but I do appreciate the support. Again, check out my Patreon. Go support that. Send me last-minute shippers chats while you got got a minute left. But all your contributions have been extremely appreciated. So can't thank you enough. We're working hard on season 8. I will say, tune in tomorrow. There's going to be a new commentary. You're going to see that tomorrow. And then Friday, I got a little special video, tokusatsu-wise, coming out that you can check out and definitely see that. And you guys are going to really have fun with that. And then I'm going to get back onto a weekly schedule. And if also, one last thing, just give you guys a little bit more time. I've got a very special video coming out on August 20th. That is a Sunday. I cannot say what it is, but it's celebrating an anniversary. And when you see it, and you'll see the parallels, I think you guys are going to be really happy with it. However, you can watch it now on Patreon. Just $1 more. Get your early access to all of our content as well as other special features. So tune in tomorrow for our next commentary. Until the next video, like, comment, subscribe. See you guys later. This is BigJackFilms signing off saying thank you so much for your support. Thank you so much for your love, your kindness, your well-made comments and questions. And I will hopefully see you guys next week. So until then, take it easy. Bye. Bye-bye.